powerful, godlike figure appears, announcing that the destined time has arrived. His declaration signals the beginning of Ragnarok, as mighty beings gather, ready to move. With a commanding gesture, he unleashes the order. Ragnarok officially begins. The divine figure drinks from the sacred cup, unleashing a radiant power that signals the beginning of the battle. The heavens respond. Winged warriors mount their beasts and descend, blades drawn, ready for war. On the other side, monstrous giants and armored warriors march forward, their eyes glowing with bloodlust. The army of chaos rises. Angels storm the skies, wings spread, feathers falling as they dive toward the battlefield. Chaos below, blades clash, blood spills, warriors fighting for their lives. The monsters push forward, towering brutes and twisted creatures closing the gap. One giant swings a massive club, ready to crush anything in his path. Chaos hits the streets. People are screaming. One man yells for everyone to run. A mother clutches her child, panic written all over her face as destruction crashes down. Her eyes widen, too late. A man shoves the child out of harm's way. But the mother, crushed under falling debris, blood spilling out. The boy is panicking, calling out for his mom, realizing the shadow creatures are closing in. The injured mother shouts at him, telling him to run, desperately trying to get him to listen. With a shadow soldier looming over them, sword in hand, she forces out the truth. If he runs now, he still has a chance to survive. The shadow creature raises its blade, ready to finish her. But suddenly, another figure appears, sword striking the ground with terrifying force. The clash of steel cuts through the chaos, stopping the killing blow in its tracks. The clash is brutal. A sword swing cuts through the air with deadly precision. A massive golden slash tears across the battlefield, wiping out everything in its path. Silence follows. One of the shadow soldiers falls lifeless, and the boy stares in shock, realizing someone just saved him. The hooded warrior steps up, telling them to evacuate while his comrades hold the line. The woman clutches her son, grateful. She thanks him for saving them. The boy spots the figure in the black robe, shouting in shock, "Black robe!" The black-robed warrior adjusts his helmet, smirking. Now, then, the battlefield shakes as a wave of demons charges forward, their roars echoing. He steps up, flames blazing around him. Time to start. The beasts charge in, bloodlust in their eyes. The hero lights up his blade in flames, standing his ground. With a fiery slash, he tears through the monsters, leaving nothing but burning carnage behind. The clash explodes with raw power, shadows and flames tearing through the battlefield. Black Robe dives straight into the fray, slamming his blade into the towering brute. Another enemy charges in with a massive strike, but he meets only Black Robe's deadly counter. He charges up, forming a deadly energy slash between his hands. The blast explodes outward, wiping out enemies in its path. He spots more enemies incoming, one glaring with killing intent, ready to strike back. He cuts down enemies with blazing strikes, flames wrapping around his every swing. Close combat, his eyes sharp, his blade tearing through shadow creatures without slowing down. But then, boom, a massive brute steps in, grinning with a boulder raised high, ready to crush him. The brute hurls the hero through the air, the ground trembling under the impact. But mid-flight, he steadies himself, dark energy gathering in his palm, ready to counter. He flips the momentum, ignites his blade in flames, and carves straight through the giant's defenses, tearing him apart in a single blazing strike. The story opens, the MC admitting his whole life has been nothing but struggle. He stands, cloaked in darkness, facing down impossible odds, yet still moving forward. This marks the beginning of his journey, the tale of a human who refused to break. The focus shifts to two determined gazes locking on each other, both burning with golden light, one young, one old. The narration cuts in. This whole tale of struggle began the moment he got his hands on a mysterious item. Raiders step onto the battlefield, shining with power, facing down monstrous shadows. They're the hunters of shadow creatures, risking everything while chasing treasures and glory. But above all, they stand as shields, protecting the people from the darkness. Raiders might be praised as heroes, but in reality, they're drowning in envy and resentment. On the outside, it looks inspiring, but the truth is darker. Being a raider isn't all glory. And here's the kicker. There's something about them no one talks about. The tension spikes, every heartbeat echoing like a war drum. The protagonist pushes forward, his body trembling under the weight of danger. Flames explode into a blazing arc of destruction, tearing through the battlefield with raw, uncontrollable force. The hero walks through the fire, unwavering, eyes sharp and determined. The truth settles in. A raider's heart beats the loudest, right before death closes in. The protagonist is engulfed in raging flames, his body surrounded by uncontrollable energy as he stares in shock. The scene cuts to a calm cafe where a young woman enters, adjusting her jacket casually. At the counter, a man stands quietly with a drink while the woman suddenly yells across the cafe, shattering the peaceful atmosphere with, "You crazy bastard!" We're introduced to Jong Woo-min, a man who works at the raider agency, that he's the job broker, the middleman who connects guildless raiders to work. When he called, it was clear a new job had come my way after a long break. But the nature of the request left me unsettled. The protagonist is frustrated, realizing the request is to stand on the front lines with a shield against undead monsters, essentially being used as a disposable meat shield. He sighs, questioning why this is the only job left for him when even lower-ranked kids can find work without issue. Jong Woo-min, looking uneasy, admits softly, "You know how it is, Hyung." The MC sits back, annoyed, thinking magicians get all the spotlight, while warriors like him are sidelined. Jong Woo-min awkwardly scratches his head, trying to soften the truth, but admits it's the reality. He explains further, warriors suffer more injuries and aren't efficient compared to magicians, making them less desirable in jobs. The broker reminds him bluntly that things have changed. 10 years ago, warriors had a place, but now magicians dominate. The protagonist looks bitter, fully aware of the reality, but still feels the sting of being unwanted. Flashback imagery emphasizes the shift. Magicians raining destruction from the back, while warriors bleed in the front lines. Flashback begins, showing his acceptance into Milla's academy after his aptitude test success. The academy is described as a prestigious place where young awakeners gather to train and decide their future as raiders. Narration reveals that this was where students chose their combat path, whether to become magicians, warriors, or other roles, shaping the rest of their lives. The protagonist reveals his test results. His magic aptitude score was an incredible 97%, a near-perfect result. Comparison is made with SEO Ina, the top magician of the present, who only had 92% aptitude, proving that the protagonist's score was otherworldly and unparalleled at the time. However, there's a sharp contrast. His combat aptitude score was only 34%, showing his physical combat potential was extremely low compared to his magical aptitude. The protagonist recalls his decision. Despite having top magic aptitude, he chose the combat path. He trained seriously with a wooden weapon alongside other students. He admits he didn't have any noble or big reason for choosing combat, showing a calm, reflective expression. The real reason is revealed. At that time, magic users carried the worst reputation, leading him to distance himself from that path and walk alone. Magic users in the past were undervalued, seen only as support tools, unable to handle even weak monsters alone. But times have changed. Combat users are now fading while magicians are praised as the true heroes. The protagonist reflects regretfully, wondering, if I had chosen the magician's path 11 years ago, would my life be better today? The broker leans in seriously, reminding him that even though the offer sounds rough, it's a rare chance, one he thought would suit him best. The protagonist sits in silence, weighing the words. while the broker explains he could have easily given the job to someone else. He clenches his fist on the table, reflecting bitterly. Once envied for his incredible magic aptitude, now reduced to a struggling warrior. His inner voice admits the harsh truth. Despite his past potential, he's nothing more than a low-ranked D-class raider. The protagonist reflects, realizing his life had taken an even darker turn. Jong Woo-min is shocked but relieved as the protagonist finally agrees to take the job. All right, I'll do it. The protagonist accepts his harsh reality. He knew from the beginning that he had no real choice. To survive in this world, he must take whatever jobs come his way, no matter the risk. Jong Woo-min lights up with excitement after hearing the decision, assuring him that he made the right choice. Woo-min tells him he'll text the location and instructs him to meet at 8 a.m. sharp the next day, warning not to be late. The protagonist questions why Woo-min himself will be present, given his busy agency work. Woo-min brushes it off, telling him not to worry about it, and to simply focus on his work. Jong Woo-min calmly assures the protagonist that he also has something to do at the location, so they'll meet tomorrow as planned. The next day, the scene shifts to a massive glowing dungeon portal surrounded by trees, with many raiders preparing to enter. The protagonist is shown leaning against a tree in his combat gear, shield beside him, waiting with a serious expression. The protagonist checks his phone. It's 8:52 a.m., May 7th. He mutters angrily about Woo-min, who promised to meet him but is nowhere in sight. He sighs, annoyed, thinking Woo-min should have just said he wouldn't come instead of leaving him hanging. A close-up shows his resigned expression as he admits to himself that Woo-min is probably better off working with more skilled raiders anyway. He walks toward a group of raiders gathered near the dungeon portal, preparing himself for what's to come. Dark memories resurface as Jae-hyun recalls the harsh words, "useless bastard," a label that still haunts him. Jae-hyun snaps back to reality, his expression tightening as someone calls out to him. A heavily armored warrior, cheerful and friendly, greets Jae-hyun with a wave, revealing himself as someone from Jae-hyun's past. Jae-hyun greets Myung-ho, surprised to see him also taking part in the raid. Myung-ho admits there hasn't been much work lately, but jobs like this, though dangerous, pay well. Jae-hyun agrees, noting the lack of opportunities for warrior-class raiders. Myung-ho passionately complains that kids nowadays don't value the sword, mocking how they admire throwing fireballs instead of traditional combat. Jae-hyun bitterly thinks that while others talk about love for the sword, he's just starving and struggling to survive. Myung-ho cheerfully suggests they do their best on this job and then go out for drinks afterward. Jae-hyun quietly agrees, but his expression shows he's just going along with it, hiding his real despair. Myung-ho complains about being short on cash, refusing to pay since he covered the bill last time. Jae-hyun gives an awkward smile, clearly not convinced. Myung-ho quickly backtracks, agreeing to pay again this time, though he insists it'll be the last. Jae-hyun pretends to feel guilty, saying he's always imposing, but inwardly thinks his companion is easy to manipulate. A call goes out, ordering everyone to gather at the dungeon entrance. An official announces they'll be entering the dungeon in 30 minutes. Some raiders stand waiting, one looking tired and annoyed, holding his weapon casually. Jae-hyun and Myung-ho exchange silent looks, tension in the air with no word spoken. Myung-ho sighs, straps on his gear, and says it's time to get ready, showing reluctant determination. Jae-hyun takes a deep breath, steadying himself, then leans against a tree and pulls out his radio, a sign that something serious is about to begin. He powers it on, and the narration kicks in. When entering a dungeon, raiders must always keep two crucial things in mind. The first is revealed, the possibility of stumbling upon unexpected fortune within the dungeon. Fortunes inside dungeons always look tempting, but that's the trap. Greed clouds a raider's mind. The moment they let their guard down, boom, logic's gone. And that's when the dungeon strikes back, testing if the treasure is really fortune or straight-up death. The dungeon flips the script. What looked like fortune turns out to be a bloody tragedy in disguise. Jaehyun's narration cuts in. The second is... But he's suddenly interrupted. His teammate calls him out. Oi, Jaehyun, what are you doing? Because, yeah, he's casually checking his phone in the middle of all this. His buddy laughs, teasing him about always checking his phone before heading into the dungeon. Jokes it must be his girlfriend's pic. Jaehyun brushes it off coolly. It's nothing. But truth is revealed. He's looking at a photo of him with his mom. With a faint smile, he makes a silent promise. I'll be back safely, Mom. The raid squad steps through the glowing portal, sunlight fading behind them. Inside, they enter a massive ruined hall, eerie green flames lighting the cracked stone. Suddenly, a swarm of undead erupts from the shadows, charging with blood-curdling screams. The commander's screaming at the tanks to hold formation, shields up. He's dead serious, telling them to keep their positions even if it costs their lives. Jaehyun blocks an attack, clearly fed up. He mutters to himself that this is one shitty job. The mage chants, summoning blinding flames that roar to life. A massive fireball bursts forward, shaking the battlefield as it tears through the dungeon. The explosion engulfs everything, lights swallowing the raiders and enemies alike. The enemy is completely engulfed in flames, their figure twisting in agony. Jaehyun walks forward with calm confidence, shield raised, the fire reflecting in his eyes. He glances to the side, his expression steady, unshaken even in the middle of the chaos. The Meteor Guild steps up, shining like hotshots. They've been hyped as the rising stars in the magician world. Jaehyun watches quietly, thinking, if these guys can pull off this level of magic, maybe he won't have to worry about dying today. The scene shifts deeper into the dungeon. The place looks eerie and ancient, green flames flickering on the walls, and the whole raid party pushes forward into the unknown. Myung-ho lets out a tired breath, worn out, but pushing through. He jokes about aging, saying if he knew it'd be like this, he'd have spent less time messing around as a kid and grinded levels harder. Jaehyun smirks, reminding him he's still stronger and higher level than him anyway. His buddy casually asks if he got any good drops from this dungeon. Jaehyun isn't sure, so he pulls up his interface to check. As he looks closer, something catches his eye, something surprising. Jaehyun's screen glitches out. Strange code and fragments start flashing before his eyes, something totally out of place. Suddenly, a sharp pain shoots through his head, forcing him to clutch it tight. Confused and shaken, he mutters, "What the hell was that just now?" Jaehyun gets a sudden system message. The Acer system has gone down. Another warning pops up. The connection with the user will be temporarily cut. He's shocked. The Acer system has gone down? That's never happened before. A follow-up message hits. The Acer system could not reboot due to unknown reasons. Jaehyun looks tense, muttering, "Rebooting failed? What is it talking about?" Jaehyun sees a strange green glow. A voice whispers, "Follow the light." He's shook. System freaks out. Unknown presence detected. Repair in safe mode, then instantly fails. Jaehyun stares, tense. Unknown presence? And that voice, what the hell was that? Jaehyun mumbles under his breath. Did it tell me to follow the light? He's confused, second-guessing what he just heard. His buddy catches it and looks at him weird. Huh? What are you even talking about? Clearly, he has no clue what Jaehyun means. Jaehyun brushes it off, tried to explain, but also low-key unsettled. No, just now. He knows something strange happened, but he's not ready to spill it yet. Jaehyun's eye sharpens. He swears he just heard a voice. Follow the light. Yeah, he's not hallucinating. Something's definitely calling out to him. Then boom, out of nowhere, glowing orbs of light start popping up right in front of his teammate's face. It's surreal, like some mystical guidance straight out of nowhere. And now, the whole area is flooded with those lights, drifting around like fireflies in the dark. The dungeon vibe instantly shifts. This isn't normal. Something bigger's about to unfold. He realizes he heard a strange voice telling him to follow the light. Suddenly, glowing orbs appear, floating right in front of his teammate. The orbs spread through the dungeon, lighting the way and shifting the atmosphere. Jaehyun's stunned. he's staring at the glowing orbs and thinking, what the hell? Is this the light I'm supposed to follow? His comrade notices him spacing out and asks, "You've been acting weird since earlier. Are you sick?" Jae-yun quickly brushes it off. And no, I'm fine. But in his head, he's shaken. Wait, nobody else saw that? Just me. The MC notices those weird, glowing lights floating in the ruins. Curiosity instantly grabs him. He decides to head toward them, even though there's this uneasy vibe creeping in. His teammate questions his move, but he just brushes it off, acting like it's no big deal. Inside, though, he's tense, thinking, what's really going on here? He steps deeper into the cave, golden lights floating like breadcrumbs pulling him forward. He tries to call up his status, but the system flashes back, Asir's down, and the window's locked. He frowns, staring at the glitchy screen. TCH, still dead. Nothing's working. He taps the system window again, hoping it'll work. But nah, the system says function damaged, reboot in safety mode. He's scratching his head, stressed. Like, bruh, what the hell is going on? Then we get his thoughts. He's been awakened since age 10. And in 17 years, the system never once crashed like this. Total first-time glitch moment. MC's like, that voice I heard earlier. Yeah, no way that's a coincidence. He's piecing things together. We see glitchy flashes of the system breakdown. Invasion, errors, reboot fails. Basically, his whole world's backend just crashed. He connects the dots. The system collapse, the unknown presence, and that cryptic follow the light message. Something bigger is calling him. He's piecing it together. Maybe the whole Asir system is shifting like a massive update nobody asked for. Flashback vibes, the Asir system tied to legends of gods like Odin and Thor. That's where the name came from. And yeah, this system wasn't just tech. It was mankind's last safety net when humanity was hanging by a thread, one step away from extinction. 20 years back, everything seemed normal, until chaos struck in 2011, the infamous year of calamity. Out of nowhere, right in the middle of the Pacific, this colossal tree started rising. So huge, no one could gauge its height. And in just 9 days, that monster tree grew high enough to blanket the skies. Some people freaked out, saying the giant tree meant humanity's end. Others were hyped, calling it a tree of blessings. But the truth? The tree had a name straight out of myth. Yggdrasil, the legendary world tree, now standing in reality. The stained glass flashes. On the 9th day, after the tree fully grew, it sets the stage for chaos. Out of nowhere, monsters start pouring into the world. Dragons, beasts, and horrors no one's ever seen before. Civilization gets blindsided. Humanity takes the first hit. Half the population wiped out by monsters. And the survivors? Most of them fall soon after the famine and plague. The world's falling apart. Monsters are tearing everything up. Humanity's basically at rock bottom. Then, through the fire and chaos, a figure steps forward, calm, unshaken. And just like that, mankind's spark of hope is born. A new hero rising from despair. The werewolves leap in, fangs out, ready to shred him apart. But with one move, dark energy surges, and he slams them down. The first awakened makes his entrance. A human, but not ordinary. He's carrying the power of the gods themselves, standing unstoppable in the chaos. We see how people awaken. Some just ordinary folks, others stepping up as raiders, the monster hunters. The Asir system isn't just some tool. It's literally the ultimate weapon in the hands of humanity's strongest. But if this system changes? Yeah, it doesn't exactly scream good news. The air is glowing with green flames, setting the stage for something big. He stumbles on a massive door carved into the dungeon wall, bigger than anything he's seen before. His eyes widen. Could this be something beyond just a normal gate? He grins, jackpot vibes. Before him, the massive treasure gate looms, etched with mystical beasts and glowing seals. It's the legendary treasure gate. Quick lore drop. Treasure gates are secret rooms hidden deep inside high-tier dungeons. Rare as hell, But when you find one, you know it's stacked inside? Gold, relics, rare loot, stuff adventurers dream about. And the kicker? Even the trash loot from these gates sells for hundreds of thousands. In short, life-changing rewards behind those doors. He's hyped, thinking if he scores an A-class or higher item, his whole life changes instantly. He closes his eyes, almost praying, if there's a god out there, let it be A-class or higher gear, as the treasure gate begins to open with blinding light. The light floods in, revealing massive pillars in a grand, otherworldly space, something far beyond his expectations. He steps through and, bam, this place looks straight out of the heavens. Blinding light, endless space, it's like stepping into another world. He mutters to himself, half in disbelief. So this really exists inside a dungeon. Guess those rumors on TV weren't cap after all. And right at the center, a pedestal glowing so bright, it's screaming, treasure's right here, come claim me. He smirks. Yeah, this is it, the jackpot moment. Facing the glowing pedestal, he's like, all right then, let's see what kind of insane loot you've got for me. With anticipation buzzing, he stretches out his hand toward the radiant item, ready to claim whatever game changer lies ahead. The system finally flickers back to life, like your Wi-Fi reconnecting after hours. A prompt appears. Partial recovery complete. New item acquired. He grabs it with a grin. Things are actually going my way for once. Dude's confidence is sky high. Narration hits in. The system rebooted at the perfect time. Maybe luck really does come in waves. He grabs the glowing eye, and boom. The system kicks back in, announcing partial recovery and a new item drop. A sly grin spreads across his face. Things are finally turning in his favor. The system reboots just in time, and he's thinking, guess good fortune really does hit in waves. Light explodes around him. This isn't just any item. Item window, Odin's Lost Eye, rating mythic, a literal one-of-a-kind relic, tied to the king of the Aesir himself. He stares at the screen, stunned. Wait, what? His eyes widen, heart racing. This isn't just a rare drop. It's a game changer. He unlocks a busted skill called Universal Derivation. Lets him understand and destroy magic formulas like he's speedrunning hacks. Effects drop. He can copy skills, use magic without casting time, and blank cards to snatch powers. Basically just unlocked cheat codes. He's like, is this even real? Totally shook but low-key hyped. He remembers the highest auction item was only S rank and worth tens of millions. But magic items? Those are priceless. People will pay anything. And now he's holding a mythic rank item. His face screams, bruh, I just broke the game. MC's grinning hard, thinking this item is his ticket out of misery. No more struggling, no more being treated like trash. He's fired up, done being a disposable shield for others. He's ready to flip the script. He smirks, holding the glowing item like, well, I've got it now. Might as well test drive this thing. He's staring at the glowing eye like, bruh, when am I ever going to get this chance again? System hits him with a fine print. Yo, once you equip this, it's bound forever. He panics. Wait, cancel. He drops to the ground, wiping sweat. Phew, that was close. Almost wasted a mythic rank item just like that. He's smirking at the glowing item, like, bruh, why would I even equip this when I could just sell it? Black market vibes. Easy hundreds of millions. But then he gets real. Like, even if it's a god-tier item, he's low-key done with the dungeon grind. Leveling's capped cause he's already past the age limit. So what's the point? He shrugs it off, all calm, like, even if I rock it, it's not going to change much for me. Man's already written himself off from the OP life. Glitchy chaos hits, systems breaking down hard. Total anomaly. No one's seen something this wild before. But the MC? He's unfazed. Like, bruh, this ain't my first rodeo. Dungeons are messy, and surprise disasters are part of the grind. He sums it up clean. All these dungeon curveballs usually fall into just two main categories. MC's like, should I bounce now? While the narration's hitting us with, this could end as fortune or tragedy. Back with the squad, one dude's nervously laughing like, chill, he'll be back soon. Probably just checking something real quick. The same guy's stalling, wait a sec, But then relief hits. There he is, as they finally spot MC returning. The priest calls out, "Mr. Jaehyun." Clearly the raid team's about to regroup. He reminds him, "Come quickly. We'll be departing for the raid soon." Jaehyun just looks calm, hiding what just went down. Jaehyun apologizes, "Sorry I was late." The priest scolds him about acting alone, saying it'll cause problems. Jaehyun, playing along, replies, "Yes, I'll be more careful next time." The atmosphere is tense. His comrade looks over, clearly worried about Jaehyun. There's this unspoken suspicion in the air. He reaches out, pats Jaehyun's shoulder like, "Hey bro, don't be so gloomy." But that sudden grip? Yeah, even Jaehyun's caught off guard. Jaehyun quickly diffuses the mood with a smile. "Nah, it's not like that, Hyeongnim. I'm fine." He's masking his real thoughts, but the smile totally sells it. Jaehyun's like, "Drinks on me tonight, bro. Can't keep mooching forever." His buddy shook like, "Wait, who is this responsible guy?" The crew walks ahead, and Hyeongnim's stuck thinking, at 27, did this dude finally grow up? Meanwhile, Jaehyun hangs back, face all shadowed, thinking, phew, they bought it. I'm safe for now. Low-key hiding his mythic jackpot. This dungeon isn't just a battleground. It's a lawless zone. Whatever happens here stays buried inside. No witnesses, no consequences. And if word spreads that you picked up a rare treasure, that's basically signing your own death warrant. Jaehyun knows silence is survival. Jaehyun's thinking smart. He's like, "Chill, I'll sell this item after the raid. No need to rush." But he's laser-focused. Right now, priority number one, don't draw attention, stay under the radar. Meanwhile, the raid leader's hyping it up. "Frontline's ready. Let's restart this raid." But suddenly, cracks of danger ripple through the dungeon, and things are about to get real. Out of nowhere, boom. The ceiling just explodes, debris raining down like it's the apocalypse. Jaehyun's eyes widen. He knows this ain't normal. Something's off, and it's bad. Rubble crashes everywhere, and Jaehyun dives, sprinting through the chaos like his life depends on it. He barely makes it out, sliding across the floor while people scream. What the hell was that? Jaehyun's beat up and confused like, "Bro, what the hell's happening right now?" Then suddenly, the whole place fills with this creepy purple mist, and Jaehyun realizes something's seriously off. Other raiders start choking on it, gasping for air. You can tell this isn't just smoke. This is some deadly poison fog. Jaehyun realizes this purple haze around him isn't just fog, it's poison mist. He quickly puts it together. If he breathes this in too long, he's done for. No hesitation. He needs to escape ASAP. Just as he's about to move, someone shouts his name, "Mr. Jaehyun." Someone's running toward him through the toxic mist. Hyeongnim realizes fast, this mist ain't normal. He's panicking, covering his face, and warning they gotta dip quick. Jaehyun, calm but sharp, already knows this situation's lethal. He's locking in, analyzing what's next. He raises his voice, warning everyone. But before he can finish, blood splatters and chaos hits. Jaehyun's eyes widen, shock all over his face. His comrade just got stabbed out of nowhere. Blood gushes. The guy struggles to even form words, calling out desperately. The attacker strikes again, clean and merciless. Jaehyun stares in disbelief, cold realization sinking in. Bro's face says it all, pure shock. He's like, "Wait, did that just happen?" Then it clicks, panic mode on. "I gotta bounce now." He bolts without a second thought, sprinting for his life. Every step screams desperation. Out of nowhere, massive explosions rock the place. Pure chaos kicks off. Jaehyun's on the run, sprinting like his life depends on it, 'cause it kinda does. And then it hits. The whole dungeon fills with poison mist, spreading everywhere like death itself just rolled in. Boom! Someone just got straight up murdered. This isn't a monster's doing. It's way too clean, too precise. Jaehyun realizes, nah, this is the work of dungeon contract killers. They're here with a purpose, and it looks like their target might be the Meteor Guild. Running to the entrance? Not even an option. He knows he might get ambushed by killers waiting there. Best bet? Hide inside the dungeon. Wait for the right moment. But the frustration hits. Why is this happening? Why now? Jaehyun's like, forget it, no time to dwell. He knows survival's the only priority now. He reminds himself of the mythic item he scored. No way he's just rolling over to die here. He steadies his resolve, sweat dripping, determination written all over him. But suddenly he senses someone else. An ominous silhouette starts closing in from behind. Massive fiery spear comes crashing down from above, the whole place shaking with pure destructive energy. Jaehyun spots the attack. Eyes widen. He's caught off guard. The blazing spear slams into him. The explosion is insane, blasting fire and shockwaves everywhere. Jaehyun is thrown back hard, barely managing to endure as the dust and debris rain down around him. A hooded figure appears, calmly approaching Jaehyun like he was expecting this moment. Jaehyun instantly recognizes who it is, shock written all over his face. The hooded man smirks, radiating confidence, as if everything happening was all part of his plan. The hooded guy steps up with lightning crackling, smirking like he's been waiting for this moment. He casually walks forward, confident as hell, like this whole encounter was scripted. With a sly grin, he reminds Jae-hyun, this meeting was inevitable, like fate just pulled them together. Jae-hyun clenches his shoulder, spitting the name out, Jong Woo-min. He glares and demands, was this all your plan? Jae-hyun lists it out, spreading the poison fog, attacking the Meteor Guild. Woo-min just smirks in silence, like he doesn't even need to answer. Woo-min straight up admits it. Yeah, it was all him. Jae-hyun's eyes widen, but he forces himself to calm down, trying to process everything before acting. And Woo-min? He just shrugs it off, saying it wasn't personal. It was a client's request. Woo-min isn't done. He adds fuel, saying tons of people already hate the Meteor Guild. He explains it's because Meteor Guild kept flexing on others, stepping on rival guilds like they own the place. Then the truth drops. Dungeon assassins. These are the shadows who take advantage of closed dungeons and straight up use them as kill zones, murdering people inside without the outside world ever knowing. Meteor Guild just got ambushed out of nowhere, bodies dropping left and right. Jae-hyun's like, damn, what a mess. He clocks the situation and realizes who's behind it. Then he sees the real threat. Young Woo-min radiating insane power, blue flames everywhere. Jae-hyun thinks about fighting, but nah, he instantly knows it's impossible. Here we see the big reveal. Jong Woo-min isn't just anyone, he's an A-rank magician. One of those rare geniuses sitting in the top 2% of the whole country. Meanwhile, our MC keeps it real. He's only a D rank. Not crazy strong, not pathetically weak, just stuck in that average middle ground. And he knows one thing for sure. He's not their target. The smart move? Keep quiet, stay low, and survive. He's stressing hard. With the Aster system down, escape isn't guaranteed. Reality hits him. There's no other way. Unfair or not, he has to face it. His thoughts drift back. He wants revenge for the comrades who stood with him on the defense line. He remembers his fallen comrade, Myung-ho Hyung, someone who stood by him in battle. But facing reality, he knows he can't do anything against Jong Woo-min. The power gap is just too big. As Yggdrasil begins to sprout, Woo-min casually says he'll act like nothing happened today, brushing off the massacre like it was nothing. The world doesn't cut the weak any slack. Our MC knows that better than anyone. He calls out to his brother, but Woo-min's already charging up a deadly blast. The flames crash down, the power's overwhelming, and our MC barely holds on. He's freaking out. If he'd been even a second slower, that attack would have ended him right there. The tension spikes as the killer smiles, like he's already playing a twisted game. And then, boom, the big reveal. The Meteor Guild wasn't the only target today. Woo-min drops another insane lightning strike, blasting straight down with overwhelming power. The ground explodes as the attack crashes, and our guy barely manages to dodge through the chaos. He's gasping, blood running down his face, cursing under his breath. He knows he's screwed if this keeps up. Our MC's freaking out, thinking, I gotta survive this no matter what. Meanwhile, Woo-min's just standing there, smiling like he's got the whole battlefield in his pocket. And then it hits him. Why is this guy even targeting me? I'm literally just a low-tier D rank. Nothing special. But Woo-min? He's out here, flexing, casually throwing out waves of destruction like it's light work, all while grinning like he's enjoying the show. He's dodging attacks, his head racing. Wait, did I piss someone off without realizing it? The thought hits heavy. Could it be that someone actually wants me dead? He grips his wound, blood dripping, forcing himself to focus. Think, who would it be? His eyes sharpen, glowing with rage and clarity. He's about to connect the dots. He's breaking down inside, asking himself, who would even want me dead? That doubt is eating him up. Then his eyes widen. Something clicks. He's starting to realize where this hatred is coming from. A dark memory surfaces, someone standing in the shadows, their voice sharp and cold. The words hit him again like a blade. Useless bastard. That scar from his past still burns. Jae-hyun finally mutters under his breath, connecting the dots. He asks the chilling question, was his own father the one who set this up? The battlefield's wrecked, bodies everywhere, and the two brothers are locked in this insane standoff. Woomin suddenly covers his mouth, trying to hold something back. But nah, he can't keep it in. He just bursts out laughing like a total maniac. Woomin smirks, calling him smart for figuring it out. He leans in with a twisted grin, saying that's exactly why he likes him. The MC lowers his head, his mind flashing back to the past, memories of family and everything that's been lost twisting inside him. He finally breaks the silence and says he's got just one question. Flashback, someone lying in a hospital bed and him crying outside the room, broken. With blood on his face, he asks the killer, 5 years ago, during that winter, was it the same person who ordered that hit too? Woomin laughs it off and admits he never thought his brother would piece it together so accurately. He smirks and says it straight, calling him amazing like it's both a compliment and mockery. But instead of pride, his brother's face twists into a bloody smile, the tension snapping into something darker. The villain mocks the situation, pointing out the twisted irony, how a father ordered the death of his own wife. And now, the cruelty doesn't stop there. The father aims for his son too. The protagonist braces himself against the incoming attack. With a sinister smile, the enemy stretches out his hand, taunting, "Isn't this baffling? Don't you think so too, Hyung?" Zhang Woomin drops the bomb, saying that's exactly how it went down, like it's just another casual story. Then he ends it cold with, "Goodbye, Hyung." The MC stays silent, his face bloody but calm, head tilted down like he's holding everything in. Close up, his lips barely move, no words come out. Just silence, heavy and sharp. He finally parts his lips, but still nothing. Just a pause before the storm. Out of nowhere, a digital glitch effect tears open the screen, like reality itself is cracking. And boom, a demonic eye forms, blazing with fire and chaos, locked onto its prey. Then Zhang Woomin smirks, casual as hell, but his face glitches, shifting into another identity, almost mocking, almost revealing another side. Woomin looks shocked, his glasses slipping as he realizes something's off. Suddenly, a massive surge of golden energy floods the battlefield, lighting up everything, and all eyes lock on the lone figure standing in the center of it. Woomin stares wide-eyed, frozen in disbelief, muttering, "What is this magic?" The ground shakes as energy bursts out, the whole battlefield trembling under the pressure. Our guy is standing firm, but the golden aura around him is going wild, like it's about to explode. Zhang Woomin senses the shift. The man is spiking, way stronger than before, and he's low-key panicking, wondering what the hell is happening. But instead of letting it play out, he smirks. Something feels off, so he decides he's going to end this fast before things spiral. Woomin's like, "Game over, Hyung." He launches his final, deadly magic attack straight at him. The screen's just blazing with destruction, a massive wave of lightning and fire tearing everything apart. But then, plot twist. Instead of getting fried, the MC steps forward through the chaos like it's nothing, completely calm, but he actually smirks, flexing that unshaken confidence while the magic crashes all around him. He unleashes his hidden power, aura exploding out of nowhere. Golden flames roar up, shaking the whole field. Everyone's frozen, his weak facade is gone, and the real monster's out. The system announces that Odin's lost eye has been equipped and permanently bound to the user. We see him smirking, realizing he can't sell anymore, but also showing he's ready to use its true power. The system hints again, there's still a blank card available that could change everything. Zhang Woomin is completely shook. He yells out in disbelief, "That's impossible." He freaks out, realizing his magic actually got dispersed. The look on his face says it all. He can't process what just happened. Meanwhile, the other guy steps forward with deadly calm and finally speaks his name. Zhang Woomin. Odin's lost eye kicks in, and with a blank card activated, the game just flipped. He's straight up locked in, eyes burning, cold promise. "I'll kill you as painfully as possible." System message drops. He's copying the lightning chain skill. The same power his enemy was flexing is now in his hands. Woomin's face drops. He's in total disbelief. He sees Soo-hyun using his own move and can't process it. He shouts in shock, realizing his magic has been completely dispersed. His ace skill just got snatched away. Meanwhile, Soo-hyun steps forward, calm but deadly, calling out Wooman's name with pure menace. Wooman admits he has no clue how the MC can use such a high-level spell, but he's cocky, asking if he really thinks he can win with just that. The MC calmly answers. He doesn't know either, but he's about to find out. Lightning floods the battlefield as their powers collide. Wooman takes the hit, shocked, in pain, completely caught off guard by the sudden reversal. The battlefield erupts in pure chaos as lightning and energy collide, blasting everything apart with raw force. Jong Woo-min takes a direct hit as the golden strike crashes down on him, the ground shattering beneath the impact. But wait, his opponent isn't backing down either. The other guy steadies himself, powering through the storm, while Woo-min clenches his fist, rage and determination burning even brighter. Woo-min charges up his lightning, forming another deadly sphere in his hand. He unleashes it in full force, the blast expanding with destructive energy that lights up the battlefield. But just then, the protagonist counters, activating a terrifying skill, universal derivation. The lightning chain whips through the air, crashing down with insane power. It slams forward, forming a massive energy construct, like the attacks going for the kill shot. But Woo-min isn't backing down. He grits his teeth, cursing, ready to push back against the overwhelming force. The guy tries to block the incoming attack with a massive vortex of blue magic, smirking like he's got everything under control. But then, close up, Sue's eye ignites with that fiery golden blaze, locking onto him with pure killing intent. The smug guy raises his hand, ready to unleash his counter. But suddenly his own eye flickers, it changes, shock hits him. He realizes too late. That wasn't his power anymore. Something's gone terribly wrong. The enemy unleashes a massive lightning chain spear. There's no way to dodge this one. It crashes down in a fiery explosion, the whole battlefield shaking under the impact. Smoke and flames rise, the aftermath of that devastating attack. But through the dust and destruction, he's still standing tall, completely unfazed. His glasses hit the ground, his hand twitching as he feels the crushing weight of defeat. Coughing blood, he tries to push himself up, but his body's done, completely broken. Tears mix with blood as he begs for his life, whispering, don't kill." The battle's finally slowing down. He stands there, lightning fading from his body, breathing heavy but still in control. Close up, he mutters under his breath, "Is everything over?" His eyes glow with that mix of exhaustion and madness, but he's not sure if this nightmare is done. Both of them collapse on the ground, one bleeding out, the other barely standing. The battlefield is quiet now. Only the aftermath of chaos remains. Our MC is barely holding on, completely drained. No stamina, no magic, nothing left in his body. He thinks about how ironic it is. He just got a mythic item, but here he is, about to die without even using it to its full potential. And then the realization hits him. His luck wasn't normal today. It was leading him straight to this moment. The word death flashes across, symbolizing the inevitable and looming over him. He reflects, saying death was always something he'd brushed against countless times as a raider, but now that it's real, it's terrifyingly close. His body weakens, bloodied eyes half open, and all he feels is the freezing cold sinking into him. System pops up, new operating system downloaded. Looks super glitchy and futuristic. It explains running will literally rewind time to any point the user wants. Our guy realizes regression. Bloody, half broken, he gives a faint smile. "You're going to save me?" The dude's on the edge of death, but hope just lit back up. Boom. The Norner system just booted up. Things are about to change big time. And then, bam, a holy presence descends, shining brighter than the sun itself. But wait, she's not alone. The first Crimson Saint reveals herself. The new Nornir system boots up, flashing red across the void. Blinding light. 3 divine figures descend, cloaked in radiance. The goddesses begin to chant, voices heavy with fate. Each goddess speaks in turn, weaving threads of destiny. With a smile, one goddess reaches out her hand, glowing with promise. A hand clasps hers. The bond is sealed under divine blessing. Boom! New system alert. From now on, our MC is officially branded as the adversary of the Aesir gods. And it doesn't stop there. He unlocks wild new passives like One Watched by the Gods and the ultimate cheat, Absolute Eye of God. But hold up, it's not just the Aesir. Other gods, their enemies, are now tuning in like it's a live show. The spotlight's all on him. Then suddenly, MC wakes up, gasping. That download of divine power wasn't just a dream. The new journey has officially begun. Our MC wakes up in shock, his body jolting upright like something's not right, that he freezes, confused, eyes locked on his room. What's going on? His gaze falls on a photo frame. Himself, smiling with someone precious. Hands trembling, he stares at his palms, realizing this isn't just survival. This is a reset, a rewind. His hands glow as the system kicks in. Time itself rewinds to his deepest desire. He stares wide-eyed. Is this real, or just a dream? Flashes of his past rush before him. Memories overlapping, reality twisting. He stares, thinking, this has to be a dream. A flash of the past. Him and the girl he once cherished, arm in arm, frozen in memory. She appears again, graceful, pulling her bag over her shoulder, like nothing ever changed. He thinks it's all just one long dream. But the moment he sees her, instinct takes over. Finally, the reunion he's been craving, holding her like he'll never let go again. A dream. No, a reality he never wants to wake up from.